Let's get it. This is the Back Row Bengals show, college football special edition. We're going to be breaking down that nice number 4 ranking. And what better way to break down the playoff than with my friend taking time out of his day, out of his vacation, to come talk about the Bearcats, all dressed up, looking phenomenal. It
Oh yeah,
is Strawberry Ice, Jeff Trenopole. Jeff, how we doing?
good, Josh. What's going on, man? It's gotta give a shout out because today is the man Oscar Robinson's
Yes,
birthday,
sir.
so I'm wearing the jersey for him today. So happy birthday to the Big O! But let's get into the college football playoffs, where we
Yes,
have the
sir.
very first
Yes,
non-Power 5 school in the playoffs, and that is your number
Let's
4 University of Cincinnati Bearcats, baby.
Let's go! Let's go! Going absolutely nuts. Jeff, first of all, what part of where are you at, man?
I'm down here in St. Pete, Florida. See, it's nice and sunny here. See, figure I get you. It's the view of the parking lot, but that's okay. At least you can see palm trees. I think somewhere around here.
Those are not palm trees, Jeff.
Yeah,
Those
see,
are
right.
not at all.
Gotta find palm trees. Oh, that's here. Palm tree right here somewhere. Where's the palm tree?
I saw you were drinking out of a red Solo cup when I
red
pulled
Solo
up.
cup.
Yeah. What do you? What? Oh, there's a palm tree. There we
Yeah,
go.
palm tree.
What are you drinking this morning?
Coke Zero right now.
Haven't started yet.
Not yet. Oh, I did last
Not
night,
yet.
but
Yes, sir.
gotta start off a little slow. I'm getting older.
Getting older.
Exactly.
Yes, right there. So Jeff, I mean, let's. It's Georgia 1,
Yep.
Ohio State 2, Bama 3, and the University of Cincinnati Bearcats 4. When we finally popped up in that 4th spot, what was your initial reaction?
Well, actually, I was on an airplane, so I didn't get to watch it live. But as soon as I landed, I found out, and I'm like, yes! Which, I mean, I really wasn't shocked. I mean, what else were they going to do? I mean, the only thing they could have done is done something stupid and jump Michigan over us. But that would have made no sense. And even if they did, I'm like, okay, Ohio State and Michigan are going to play each other. One of them's going to lose. We're going to get in next week. So I figured if it didn't happen this week, it was going to happen next week. So I wasn't completely shocked. I would have been more shocked if they had, dropped us. I mean, it not happened. But like I said, it wasn't shocking to me because let's kind of give the college football playoff committee a little bit of credit.
Yes,
The Bearcats have not had blowout games. Last week was the very first, I think, complete game that they've had since probably the Notre Dame game. And they've, I won't say struggled, but not done the style points that, everybody wants. And they haven't moved them. They've moved them up, actually. So I will give credit to them. That's where I'm kind of like, they've kind of made it a pathway. So if Oregon, as I kept saying, if Oregon will lose or Alabama will lose or Ohio State will lose, one of them will lose, we're going to be in there, So finally, good job for the Utah Utes. They helped us out, took out Oregon, which, by the way, I was going nuts Saturday night watching that. So, like I said, I wasn't shocked, but I wouldn't have put it past them to screw us. But they didn't.
Right.
So props to the college football playoff committee for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that, and listen, I completely understand it, but that's one thing that I feel like Bearcats fans, when they kept saying that they have great respect for Cincinnati, when they first came out with the 6th ranking,
right?
I think that like the respect is being shown because they could easily put Oklahoma State in, they could easily put Michigan in, but they didn't.
Right.
They have UC at 4, and that's it. And it's just looking like it's a win and in situation at this point.
Now, what's going to piss me off, though, is if we have, they got Oklahoma and Oklahoma State Bedlam coming up this weekend. And if Oklahoma State, like, let's say they blow out Oklahoma, then they go, well, that might be a better win than anything UC has. Well, maybe we'll drop UC out. We'll put Oklahoma State in, which I hope to God they don't. But I can completely see it. I'm like, I'm not to where, okay, we're in. They're not going to take us out. Like, I'm not going to believe it until it is done. It's the final 4, and the Bearcats are in it. Up until then, I'm going to be like, they still could pull us out because let's be honest, like you said, the college football president, playoff committee president, oh yeah, we respect UC, yada yada yada. Then he proceeded to tell us we didn't play anybody except Notre Dame. So he said, yeah, we respect you, but you really didn't play anybody except Notre Dame. So, and now they're talking. Some people are saying that Notre Dame could jump us, which I'm like, how in the hell can Notre Dame jump us when we beat them head to head? Which
Exactly.
But the precedent was set by the college
Mhm.
playoff committee when they jumped Michigan over Michigan State when Michigan State beat them.
Mhm.
It
Right.
didn't make a whole lot of sense, but they've done it. So anyway,
Right. No, right, and that does make sense a little bit, but I mean, obviously the Notre
none of it makes
Dame
sense.
jumping,
None of
that
that.
doesn't
The
make
only thing that
sense at
makes sense to
all.
me is if you're an undefeated team, you should be in the freaking playoffs. That makes
Right.
sense. The rest of this crap
Right.
doesn't make sense to me.
Right. I got you. I got you. So, just by looking at the ranking, it looks like the UC is not even going to probably stay at 4. It looks like if everything were to work out, it looks like UC is going to jump to 3.
Let's
And
hope
if
so.
that happens, it's going to be UC versus Ohio State. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like, obviously there come all the lazy sports writers that want to say that, oh, UC is going to lose by 50.
Yeah.
But looking at that game, so let's talk about UC versus Ohio State.
Okay.
Personally, I think that is a matchup that really, that's probably one of the best matchups we could get. Ohio State's best part of their game is their receiving core, and our best part of our game is probably our secondary. What do you think
Exactly.
about facing Ohio State in the playoff? What would you feel about that?
Well, yeah, I brought that up on my show yesterday. Not yesterday, Monday. Sorry, but that's what I brought that up there. Ohio State fans are like, "Well, we got these 3 great wide receivers." You do. You have 3 great wide receivers.
Yep.
We have NFL caliber cornerbacks
Yep.
in our defense. And
Right.
Sauce and Kobe Bryant. So I mean, we can play with them. I mean, I've said this before about Ohio State, Georgia, any team that we're going to play. I don't know if we're going to win, but we're going to play with them. Our defense, our secondary is too good to not keep us in these games. We
Right.
have NFL caliber players, and that's the difference between this team and the Brian Kelly teams. The Brian Kelly teams, we had guys that were like, yeah, okay, we had like 3 guys that could have, made the NFL.
Right.
And a couple of them are still in there, like Travis Kelce and his brother. Those guys are still in there, but those weren't the 2 guys that we were talking about back then. Right now, Josh, I'm serious. I think we got at least 7 guys on this team that are going to play on Sundays. Not necessarily getting drafted, but they're going to play. And we got a couple first round picks, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guys that aren't exactly, I guess, NFL caliber, you can look at. I mean, we have 30 seniors. Like that's we have guys that have been there before. We have guys that know how to win. We have guys that's all they know is winning. And that's incredible as a program to get to that point where now Luke Fickell not only has his guys, but all of his guys, that's all they know is winning. That's it. Desmond Ridder, I think he's at 48-5 now in his total career.
And let's give props. I didn't even know this, but I heard this in I think it was Dan Orlovsky. He said this on the broadcast on Saturday that Zach Taylor is the biggest reason that Desmond Ridder is at University of Cincinnati, because Zach Taylor was the offensive coordinator the last year of Tommy Tuberville. Yep. And whatever camp they went to, he started watching the guys and who was all at the camp, and he goes, forget about everybody else. He goes, get me video on that guy. All the video on that guy. And that guy was Desmond Ridder. And so Zach Taylor is the reason that Desmond Ridder is in Cincinnati. I just thought that was kind of interesting. But getting back to the point before I said is with the Bearcats defense. That defense will travel. That defense will keep us in any game. And we proved that. And people say, oh, it was last year. It's damn near the same team. Georgia and Cincinnati are damn near the same teams they were last year. Player here, player there. UC was in that game with Georgia. They were winning for most of the game.
They should have won. They should have won.
And that's what everybody said. Well, Georgia's better. I'm like, Georgia's better now. I'm like, well, so's UC.
Exactly.
So that's where everybody is not giving the Bearcats credit. And the thing is, you have to look at the talent that is on the team. And that, to me, that is where this is a different Group of 5 school than Central Florida and Houston and all these other ones when they made these runs. They have actual NFL caliber talent on their team, and that defense is as good as anybody's in the country.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm with you on that. I mean, they just rank so high. They're one of the highest ranked in scoring defense. And what are you doing over there, buddy?
I'm getting attacked by a balloon. That's what I'm doing. This balloon keeps coming after me. I'm like, hey, stay there.
I mean, so I mean, one of the highest scoring defenses in the country. one of the best turnover margins in the country. One of the just the best all around. And you go back to exactly what you said. Just we have NFL caliber guys. I mean, you go down the list. I mean, let's start with Ahmad Gardner, who's probably going to be a high first rounder. Then you got Kobe Bryant, who's played his way up through the draft. He probably started out this year probably being an undrafted. He's probably played himself into at least the fourth or third round. Then you got Najee Sanders, who's also probably going to be a high second round.
DeBlanco.
You got Joel Blanco.
I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play on Sundays. You got Brooks. I think he's going to play on Sundays.
Yeah. I mean, you just a lot of just incredible talent.
And then we're not even talking about the offense. I mean, I think our tight end and our wide receiver, who for some reason both of them their names are slipping my mind right now. But I think both those guys are going to play on Sundays as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And just I feel like that this team is just so much different than every other Group of 5 team that has come through. I mean, with UCF, it was a pipe dream, and we kind of talked about that. It really was, because the coaching may have been there, and the be able to win was there, but the talent really wasn't. But this Bearcats team, we've seen it following all the recruiting processes through all of these guys, and how this program's been built. It feels like this UC team is far different than any other Group of 5 team.
Well, it's like Mo Egger has said on his show multiple times, and he said it on my show, is that this team is built to last. This is Luke Fickell has built this more than, it's not just a 1-year thing. Even if Luke leaves, which I hope to God he doesn't, I think we're still set to be a very good program for years to come. It's not going to be like when Kelly left, the cupboard was empty and there wasn't a whole lot there for Butch Jones and Tommy Tuberville and all these guys. The cupboard is full. We got guys coming in. So even if Luke leaves, which, like I said, pray to God he doesn't leave,
right?
We got a sustainable program here, I think, for years to come.
Mm-hmm. Right, absolutely.
Into the Big 12, whenever the hell that's going to happen.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we want to talk about future of the UC program, I mean, it just came out. They're going to be number one, Bearcats Air, which is the new airline that all coaches have.
Yep.
To go out and go see recruits is massive. That's a big step in the right direction. They're already talking about building a $10 million indoor practice facility for UC Bearcats, which is insane that they got that done before the Bengals ever got anything done with a indoor practice facility, which is hilarious. And then on top of that, it just came out last night that they're doing a big $100 million not GoFundMe, but a fundraising event. And they're just going to continually push that. So basically, it's like UC is all in on Luke Fickell, and I think Luke Fickell knows that, and I think he knows okay, I can stay here, I can go somewhere else, and probably be a line of coaches that have done it or been there before, but I can stay here and build the greatest legacy of all time in UC.
Well, the thing is, people keep saying, "Oh, he's going to leave to go to LSU. Oh, he's going to leave to go to Florida." That's SEC. I'm like, and I keep coming back at it as this. The only, to me, with UC going to the Big 12, the only thing that LSU or Florida has, maybe not the way UC's raising money, is how much they can pay Luke. But as far as the opportunity to build a program, build a legacy, have chances to win multiple championships, is better at UC, I think, than anything at the SEC. I think our facilities are top notch. You just talked about all the stuff that they're getting ready to add. We're getting airlines. He can go fly anywhere in the country he wants to now. And then on top of that, we're going into the Big 12. Now, if you win the Big 12, that's damn near an automatic bid into the college football playoffs every year. This is what Oklahoma is giving up. This is what Texas is giving up. It's not going to be automatic whoever wins, because they're not going to automatically go into the SEC and start winning. And that's the thing too. If you go to LSU, hell, their coach just won the national championship, 2 years ago? Is he get fired now?
Yeah, he's fired.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, Luke can just stay here and make all kinds of money. They're going to build a damn statue for him. And the way he's got this going, once we go into the Big 12, and I'm not trying to make this bigger than it actually is, but this is a possibility. We could be talking about multiple national championships.
Runs. Yes.
Not just one, multiple ones.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Because now that once UC gets into the Big 12, not only are we, number one, being in the AAC and already beating teams out that are in the Power 5, like Michigan State, like Penn State, and already beating them out for recruiting. Imagine what being in the Big 12 will do. They'll do that exact thing and more. And now we're going to be beating out Ohio State, LSU. We're going to be beating out Alabama for
Mm-hmm.
recruits because they can finally stay home. And I think it's just UC was set up so great as a Group of Five team because of the recruiting hotbed that is in Cincinnati and how great the high school programs are here with Moeller, St. X, Lakota West. The list goes on. The list goes on and on.
And you don't forget about across the river. You got Cub Calf. You got Beechwood. I mean,
yes,
Northern Kentucky. You're starting to get some talent coming out of there as well too.
Hell, go over to Indiana. You can go pick their guys up from
Yes.
what's their name?
East Central.
Yeah, we played him lacrosse. I can't remember the name. I'll think of it. I'm a little hungover, but it's a holiday, man. It's a holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, but anyway, and Jeff, you and I can go on and on about UC and talk about the future of the program. But I want to get back to the college football playoff. Okay. So right now, let's take a look at this. Right now, if the playoff started today, we would be facing Georgia, and we kind of talked about it a little bit. We like that rematch. I'll be honest, there's nobody in the playoff right now that I would say, UC's going to get their ass handed to them. I'm not afraid of any of these teams. I think UC has a great chance against all of them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm not afraid of anyone. And like I said before, because of our defense. Now, I would prefer. Now I know Jeremy, who's a co-host on my show, which hasn't been on in a couple months. He's a huge Ohio State fan, and he's like, I would love to play UC for the whole thing. Me personally, I want to. I mean, I'm fine with playing Ohio State. I want to run it back with Georgia. Yeah. I want to run it back with them for the whole damn thing. You know, I mean, how cool would that be? And what a cool storyline is if UC and Georgia, who played, I think the one of the best New Year's Six games last year out of any of them, probably the best one. To run that back to the next year for the whole ball of wax, I think would be awesome. And like I said, and this thing, like I've said to Georgia fans last year, I'll say it again this year. I say to any team that's in the playoffs, I'm not scared. I'm not saying we're going to win. I don't know. We're not going to get blown out. It's going to be a close game. Our defense is too good. Our team in general is too talented. Our coach is too good. And the thing is, not that the going to the bowl game last year was huge for the experience wise. These guys, lots of like Kobe Bryant stood on the field and watched Georgia celebrate. I think Desmond Ridder stood on the field and watched Georgia celebrate. They remembered that. Their whole goal to this was to go get that feeling that Georgia had last year. Win a big bowl game. Hell, win the national championship if you can.
Yes.
That's what their whole goal was. So they're not scared to play anybody. We're talented enough to beat them. We're talented enough to play with them. We just need to be given the shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see that the respect that the committee talked about that they had for UC is actually real, because it is real. Like we're seeing it happen. We're seeing. I hear you got a couple birds back there. I got my dog snoring in the back. Like it's a lot. There's construction going on in my house. There's a lot going on. A lot of distractions. ADHD is flying.
Squirrel. What?
Right. Exactly. But that being said, it's just. I mean, you pretty much nailed it on the head. It's like we're not here to just show up. We're here to win the game. We're here to win the national championship.
We're not here for a participation trophy. We're here to win the damn thing.
Exactly. And I think I look at like people saying, "Oh, they're going to get blown out by 50." It's lazy. It's lazy journalism. It's
lazy. And every time somebody says that, I just go, "Did you watch the Peach Bowl?" And then they'll come back. Well, that was last year. I said, it's the same damn team.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost maybe, 2 guys off the team from last year? I mean, nobody hugely important. To be honest, I can't even think of who we lost.
James Hudson.
Hudson, yes.
But if he doesn't freaking get that penalty, we probably definitely win the game running away.
If he doesn't get kicked out, that's a completely different. Because once he got kicked out, that's when they started getting pressure on Ritter.
Yeah.
Before that, they weren't getting any pressure on him at all. But yes, that's the one guy that they did lose. The offensive line might be a little, I don't want to say worse, but not as good as last year's. But still, that's it. That's what I keep saying.
That's it.
So every time, so he says, "Oh, you guys don't play anybody. You're going to get blown out." I go, "Did you see the Peach Bowl?" Well, that was last year. I said it's the same freaking team.
Same team.
UC is the same
It's a better
team,
team.
except yeah, they might even be better because they're a extra year of experience, a year of that bowl game, of that experience.
Right.
So it was like, I don't want to hear this. I get so tired of people going, well, who are you guys playing next week? I'm playing East Carolina. Oh, that's hard. Look, we can't help who's in the American. We can't help that. We did everything that they asked us to. We went to Notre Dame and whooped their ass. We went to Indiana and whooped their ass. We've beat everybody on our schedule by a lot. I mean, even the ones that they say we struggled in, we still kicked their ass. South Florida, we kicked their ass. SMU, we kicked their ass. I mean,
Tulsa, we did too until the end. That was it.
Tulsa, that one. And the thing is, I've said this before about this team, is I think the middle of the season, I think they started getting bored. I really do, because they would get out to these big leads and they would let off the gas, and that's what they did, especially in the Tulsa game. They let off the gas, and they've done it way too many times. Last week, they said, screw that. We're going to whoop your ass from beginning to end. And that's what they did. And I think they're going to do that again this week against East Carolina. I think they're more focused. And they know that they got past the middle of the season, the lull or whatever. A couple games left. You got East Carolina this week, and then you got Houston for the American Championship game, and then whatever bowl game you're in. So hopefully you got potential, hopefully 4 games left. Hopefully 2 bowl games. Right. They're focused. Absolutely. They're ready to go.
They're ready to rumble. Yeah, absolutely. And I think I kind of have a theory on the schedule kind of screwed us with the rankings, but now that we're in it, I've kind of thought it was like the schedule really is kind of helping us, because not only are we going into the games for the college football playoff, we're going in fresh. We're going in healthy. We're going in fired up, while all these other teams are beating the hell out of each other in the Power 5 schools, and they're getting in dogfights, and they're fighting each other with 4 or 5 star. UC hasn't really had to do that, so it's almost like a Gonzaga kind of thing. Where Gonzaga just kind of whoops everybody's ass, and then they get to the playoff, and then they could just make a run. And I think that UC can do. I think that's it. I think we are the Gonzaga of college football.
Well, the thing is, you look at it this way, compared to Gonzaga. Gonzaga, you got to go, first round, second round, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, all that. College football, it's 2 wins.
2 wins.
That's it. You got to win 2 games. Once you get in, you got to win 2 games.
2 games.
And that's kind of the mindset, the focus you got to have going into this. You win 2 games, you're the national champion. That is awesome. This is what the crazy thing for me as a Bearcat fan, to even be saying that and believing that there's an actual chance it can happen. Because I remember, and I'll go back to the Brian Kelly year. I went to in 2009. I went to the UC Pitt game. The awesome. Pike to Benz. That was one of the greatest games I ever saw.
It's incredible.
Driving home, that's when Nebraska and Ndamukong Suh was blowing up Texas. And I'm like, holy crap, there's a chance that if they do beat them, we could be in.
We're in. We're in. That's it.
Yeah. I'm like, and never in that whole season, I never really thought that would even be a possibility until that drive home from that game. Obviously, it didn't happen. But this year, we've been talking about the national championship. We've been talking about getting into, well, I don't want to say national championship. We've been talking about getting into the playoffs. We get into the playoffs, like I said, you could talk national championship. That's the whole point of getting into the playoffs, is winning this damn thing.
Absolutely.
You see, and it can actually come out of my mouth, has a chance to win this whole damn thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right. Absolutely. And just, you nailed it on the head. It's just the chance to play, and they're giving it to us. And it's almost surreal. It feels like Bearcat fans can't really grasp that fact. Like,
that's what
they're
going
giving
on.
us the chance. This is it.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm still kind of like, okay, they could still just yank this away from us.
Jeff.
They can still just, dude. I'm telling you, I don't put nothing past them. I hope it happens. Right now, I believe it's going to happen. But in the back of my head, I'm like, they could still, like I said, Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma, then they could jump us. It could happen. I don't know. Because it's the Big 12. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing that keeps me away from that thought, is that the committee has shown straight up as much respect as they've shown Cincinnati. They've shown straight disrespect to the Big 12. They don't respect any Big 12 team. And that's exactly what we needed. We needed a no respect to the Big 12, and that worked. And a lot of people want to talk about, like, usually, again, I consider it lazy journalism, but a lot of people want to talk about who brings in the money, and that's who gets into the playoff. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at that angle. But because people want to say that you know asses and seats is the biggest part of
Mhm.
the game, but it's really not. It's TV views, and both and UC in both their games against Indiana and both their game and Notre Dame have been the highest watched games for both of those programs. And I believe that UC is bringing in that money. So we don't have to. I don't think we have to worry about whether we're going to bring in, viewers or we're going to bring in a fan base because UC's already shown we're going to do that exact thing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you ever want to talk about how they want UC fans to travel, go look at the Notre Dame game. Go look at Indiana. Look at how many
We ran their
Bearcat fans
stadium.
are there, especially the Notre Dame game. I mean, everybody dressed in red. It looked like a damn
Awesome.
Christmas card.
It did.
You know,
It did.
half the stadium was. I'm not kidding. Half the stadium was red
Mm-hmm.
in
Right.
Notre Dame.
It was awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then they pull out. Somebody said, "Well, you didn't travel when you went down to Tulane." I said, "Okay, traveling to Notre Dame is what 3 hours maybe trip from here.
It was a probably around 3.5 to 4 hour drive, and it wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't
The
bad.
funny the
Going
funny
down to
thing was,
Tulsa, or I mean Tulane, that's like an 8 hour drive.
yeah,
It's there, and it's Tulsa. I mean, who wants to drive down to Tulsa? It's So
right.
yeah, I think UC fans will travel for
Oh,
the
absolutely.
especially the championship game because
Yep.
you know where championship game's at, right?
It's gonna be in Indianapolis.
Right.
It's right over there. It's
Exactly.
right over there.
I might go to Indy. I might not get tickets, but I might just go to Indy just to be in the city when it happens.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm definitely going to Indy when it happens. When it happens. We're
When
speaking the shit into
speaking to existence when it
I'm
happens.
speaking to existence when it happens.
Exactly.
And you know what? In the playoff, we're either going to be in Dallas or we're going to be in Miami, and like those are big hot spots. And I'm telling you, excuse me, Bearcat fans are going to travel to both.
Oh,
of those.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I probably am. One quick funny story. On the way to Notre Dame, we stopped at a gas station in Indiana, random gas station. Guess who was filling up their 107 Kiss van right next to me? It was freaking Mo Egger.
Oh.
I was like, "Are you serious?"
Like, Mo, what's up, man?
Mo, what's up? And he was, and obviously, but I could tell by the look on his face, he had no idea who I was, which is okay. That's fine. That's okay.
It's Josh, back row Bengals. I'm like, hello, I'm a huge star.
Dude.
Duh.
I wanted to ask for a picture, but I think he would be a little odded out if he was like
Some
"All right,
random
Billy,
dude at a gas station wanted my picture. Like, what the heck?
right? Yeah,
Like,
he
it's
was
Josh.
driving slow. He was driving
It's just
slow as a
Josh.
turtle going there too. We passed right by him. We were like, "Come on, bro, let's go." But yeah, absolutely, yeah. UC fans are going to travel to both those games. I was there at the Notre Dame game. It like you said, it was a freaking Christmas tree. I think it had to be over 20,000, and especially when UC was winning.
Mhm.
We took over. We took over the stadium. We took
Right.
over the stadium. That was it. And that was really a sight to see. It was really incredible. But anyway, so real quick, I think we would be remiss if we did not talk about the effort and the play style of the Bearcats basketball over
Oh, God,
the
yes.
past two games. Both, and even though we lost, I mean, you got the
Yeah.
jersey on now. Even
Yeah.
though we lost last
Big
night,
O.
yep, the Big O. Even though we
Birthday
lost last
today.
night, we played a great Arkansas team who is ranked number 13, and we took them all the way down to the wire. Probably should have won the game, and it was a close game all the way to the end. You could tell the effort, the play style, the attitude, the swagger. It's all there. And starting off, and by the way, we took Illinois, and we took them right behind the woodshed. We put one blast.
I love Wes Miller.
Love
I'll put it out there.
Love
I think like he is the winningest coach under 40. And whoever's doing the TV broadcast last night said that he kind of mentioned, do we have the next Mike, Krzyzewski as a coach?
Yep.
And for bringing in as many different players as he brought in, for having the guys that stayed, went through what they went through the last couple of years, to get them all to buy in and to play together as a team and play. And I keep harping on the defense. The way this defense looks, this defense is Bearcat basketball defense. For him to bring all this together and start out his career He's the first coach in school history to start out 5-0.
Oh,
Now you got Ed Jucker, who won national championships. You got Bob Huggins. You got Mick Cronin. You got a coaching tree that is second to none. And for Wes Miller to come in here and be the only one to ever start out 5-0 is awesome. And
incredible.
We are going to be ranked. I know we lost last night, and if we could have got a couple little calls with the refs, it would have helped. And if we could have rebounded a little better, we would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we lost to I think the top 15 Alabama team. We beat a top 15 Illinois team.
Yep.
Bearcats are going to be ranked.
They should
Josh,
be.
I was talking to one of my buddies. I said, beginning of the basketball season, I'm hoping we just have a competitive team. We play good, yada yada yada. Dude, I think we're a tournament team right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I did not think we would be, but the depth of this team, the big guys, and that's what I love. This team reminds me of the old Bob Huggins teams. We have big guys who can play defense, who can score, who can move, and I keep going back to the defense. The way these guys communicate and switch players, on a dime, that's not easy to do. That's communication, and they're playing together like they've played together for 10 years, and they've only played 6 games together now. So I'm very, very impressed with Wes Miller and what he's done with this team. I think we have a winner, and I've said this on my show. As far as I know, Wes is single, so to keep him here, he needs to find a Cincinnati girl, create some roots. Yes. And stay here because I don't want him leaving. I think we have the best young college basketball coach, I think, in the country. My opinion.
Easily. And going, and the beautiful part about it, because basketball is not exactly quite like football, obviously, but going into the Big 12, we're probably going to be in the best basketball conference in the country. We'll be there. We're already getting the best recruits. Where UC, I believe, this year for next year has the number 13th ranked recruiting class in the country. First year there, Wes Miller gets the 13th ranked recruiting class in the country.
Boom.
And I'll be honest, there's nobody in the American that really scares me. I mean, Houston's really good, but they just lost.
Yeah,
they're beatable. I don't think Memphis is all the way there. I think they get a great recruiting class, but I don't think Penny Hardaway.
I think Penny's a really good recruiter. I'm not sold on his coaching ability.
Well, he hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it.
No, he hasn't shown it. He's had too talented of teams to have not gone very far in the tournament, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think this Bearcats basketball team, not only are they are a March Madness team. I think they're a March Madness team that can win multiple games. And I think I was listening to Mo, and we were talking about, and this was after they just took Illinois to the woodshed, of the 14th ranked team in the country, with Kofi Cockburn, and that's how I'll call him. And they made him look average. After the first 8 minutes of the game, they made him look average.
Josh, what was really cool. Beginning of that game, Illinois was stomping us. They were stomping us. We could not stop the cocky guy, whatever his name is. Couldn't stop him.
Cock guy.
Wes Miller,
huge cock guy.
Wes Miller calls timeout, makes the defensive changes, completely changes the ball game right there in one timeout. We go from not being able to play with these guys to basically dominating them the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. Phenomenal.
One timeout. One adjustment by, I think, one of the greatest youngest basketball coach in college basketball right now.
Got to be, right?
Yes. That move right there it's just, wow.
Yeah.
It worked, and they completely changed the whole direction of the game because we were going to get blown out. I'll be honest. I thought we
were heading that way.
Yeah.
We were heading that way. Yeah. And you're right. It's just adjustment, and that's something that we saw out of Wes Miller that we just definitely did not see out of John Brandon. And it's just that quick. And we're seeing, and these new big guys, man, Victor Locken, who I think could be one of the best in the country, and then you got Aguama, you got some serious, and you got some serious size down low,
and shot blockers.
Yeah,
shot blockers too. They're good at blocking shots and not fouling guys. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, last night we got called for a lot of ticky tack. I think fouls.
Yeah.
And I think that had a lot to do with us not winning that game. But for the most part, our defense has been awesome. It's like I said,
very good.
Shot blocking. I haven't seen us have a team with multiple shot blockers since Kenya Martin's senior year, with multiple guys. We've had like one guy. The last time I remember us having one was Jumpin' Jack. I can't remember. Oh, geez. You know who I'm talking about. I cannot remember his name. But he wasn't even a center. I mean, he was our center, but he was only like 6'9". These guys are 7 feet, 6'10", 6'11", and we're got multiple ones coming off the bench.
Yeah,
we can play the Twin Towers. We can play multiple 2 7-footers in the game together. Because the cool thing is too, they can shoot 3-pointers.
Right.
Yes. I mean,
yes,
that's how versatile these guys are.
Yeah. Right. Oh, Koval's the other one.
Yes. Koval. Yes.
Koval. But it's not only their size and it's not only their shot blocking ability. It's how hard they go up to the rim. They go up hard. That's what she said. But they go and you could see the force. And it's something that like we thought Chris Vogt was going to do, and he wasn't, because he went up soft as Charmin Ultra. But these guys are going up hard, and they're slamming it down, and they're being a force to be reckoned with. And like I said, man, they took Kofi Cockburn, probably a number 1 overall draft pick, and they made him look average.
The thing is too, and we keep talking about the big guys, but our guard play is phenomenal.
Very, very
Ice
good.
Mike,
Incredible.
Mikey Saunders, unbelievable. Him,
unbelievable.
And DeJulius.
Yes,
night and day from last year. Both those guys. Because I always thought Mikey Saunders was fast and a good distributor of the ball. He can shoot, and I never saw him shoot like this last year. DeJulius, same thing. He is the moves he's making off the bounce are ridiculous. I didn't see him doing this last year. And you still have Michael Adams-Wood. You have Davenport. I mean, we have multiple scorers on this team. That's where I'm like, it's not just the big guys. We got scorers at every single level and coming off the bench. I mean, Madsen is, a microwave. You heat him up and he'll just nail 3-pointers. And he hasn't done that in the last couple of games, and we've been winning. So there's so many layers to this team, talent-wise, offensively and defensively. I think we can play with anybody in the country again. I mean, I was kind of holding back on saying that because I wanted to see how we played in this tournament. I knew that obviously Illinois is going to be ranked. I wasn't sure if we're going to play Arkansas or not, but we're going to play some ranked teams, and I think that was going to give me a better judging point of where the talent is on this team compared to the teams that they played.
Right.
Dude, I'm all in. I think we can play with anybody in the country right now.
Absolutely. And I think right there is a perfect place to stop and put a nice big old bow on this incredible podcast. Because Jeff, you and I could go all day. We could probably talk
absolutely
5 hours.
Somebody should pay us to do this.
I mean, it's just incredible. We got to keep doing it over and over again, man. It's almost like they should hire us on Locked On to do the Locked On Bearcats.
Locked On Bearcats. Yeah, that's what I keep saying. We have to have Locked On Bearcats. I'm hoping. So James Rapien, I know you watch all my shows. Locked On Bearcats. Yeah, right here. We got your host.
Locked On Bearcats. This is it. This is it right here. You can be on the sideline with big old Chad Brendel. And listen, I love Chad. I do. He's done a lot. Man, his Twitter game is he needs a PR person. He needs someone to filter.
Chad has no filter on Twitter at all.
Zero. Well, Jeff, man,
does not care.
No, he does not at all. Well, Jeff, man, I know you're on vacation, and I appreciate you so much for stepping out and talking a little UC with me and talking some playoff. Got a little bit of basketball at the end. Absolutely incredible. Always love talking with you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, Josh.
All right, this has been the Back Row Bengals Show, College Football Special Edition. And we'll be back tomorrow. No, we're probably not going to be back tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. So we'll probably be back Friday to be previewing the game against the dreaded Pittsburgh Steelers. And hopefully we can 2-0 sweep them MFers. And we'll keep the tide rolling and keep the train rolling all the way into the playoffs. So hopefully we can get 2 Cincinnati teams into playoffs this year. And that has a nice ring to it.
I've said this on my show. How much fun is it being a Cincinnati fan right now? We're not used to this.
Awesome.
We're not used to this winning stuff. I like this. As Lance McAllister says, I love winning.
Love it. I love winning. And that's all. And right now, that's all we know. Right now,
exactly.
Cincinnati, all we know is winning. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all on Friday. We're probably going to not have it tomorrow because I'm going to be way too drunk and way too stuffed with all the Thanksgiving food. So we're going to be. Jeff, please enjoy the rest of your vacation. Thank you so much for stepping out and talking with me again.
No problem, brother.
All right. I'll see y'all later. Peace.